guys, it is Monday. I am off to work. Mondays are usually quite stressful, so we'll see what kind of shape I'm in the afternoon. Hey there guys, I just got back from work, and the great thing about this winter saving time is that it is already dark out now, even though it's not even that late. So yay for that. I had a good day at work. Surprisingly, it all went very well. I'm super happy today. So I just finished my audiobook, Stalking Jack the Ripper, finally. I actually think about returning this. Now the thing is, Audible has this rule that you can return audiobooks that you did not enjoy. For me personally, I'm not big on returning things. Usually, you know, when I buy clothes or stuff and I try it on at home, I don't have a problem with returning it. But for a lot of things, it's not as simple to return it in Germany. Like, for example, if you have used any makeup product or something like that, you cannot return it anymore. So stuff like, you know, trying out a foundation and then returning it to Sephora because it's the wrong shade, that doesn't work. But that's not what we're talking about right now. Thing is, I did not enjoy this book. I listened to it because I had this little challenge, and this is the Scaralong part, with my co-blogger. We have a book blog together, and she made a challenge to read a book that is based on true events. And I don't really read a lot of non-fiction, especially not, you know, true crime or anything like that. I'm just not interested in that. So Stalking Jack the Ripper seemed like a good idea because, you know, Jack the Ripper actually existed, but it's a fictionalized version. And I do love a good Jack the Ripper retelling, especially like things like the movie From Hell, or I also have like a Jack the Ripper diary book, which I very much enjoyed. This book, however, was so bad. I was actually surprised how much I did not like it. The main character was so horrible. I just couldn't. And then the love interest, he was supposed to be romantic, but he definitely was not romantic at all. I really did not enjoy their banter because he was really rude, and I don't think that this is sexy or cute or anything. So this book, the romantic relationship was just not my thing, and I'm not a huge romance lover, so this is always difficult for me, but you know. Then there is the case, and as I said, I do like Jack the Ripper retellings, TV shows, movies that are based around the true events. Now this book has a around 5 to 7 minute part at the end where the author tells you everything that she invented or changed dates of or did not mention at all. So that shows you how inaccurate this book is when it comes to Jack the Ripper. And for the mystery part, it was not a good mystery. It was very obvious who would be Jack the Ripper. And I had already heard before that Audrey Rose doesn't really solve the case. She just stumbles into the Ripper, basically. So I kind of knew that, and still, it was just not good. And then there's Thomas swooping in, being like, well, I figured it out all by myself, obviously, because I'm so amazing. Dude, like, chill. Yeah, that was just a mess. I would give it like 2.5 stars. I don't think it was like a 1-star book or anything, because I rarely do read 1-star books. Like, if I give a book 1 star, it means that it is absolutely ridiculous, possibly damaging to the world. So it wasn't that, but it just was not well done at all. Also, I feel like I enjoy audiobooks always a little bit more. I feel like I've talked about this for like 10 minutes now, and I'm sorry. These vlogs are long, but this time I only have 3 days worth of vlogging, so I'm pretty sure I can stay under 40 minutes. I promise. So yeah, I'm sorry about this ranting over this book, but I wanted to mention that I finished it. I would give it like a 2.5 stars, maybe 2, somewhere in between. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I always tend to enjoy audiobooks just a little bit more. Now I have to decide what audiobook I want to get next. I have 2 options. One is Sadie and the other one is the Soccer Girls. Right now I'm leaning more towards Sadie. I think it sounds good. I've heard that the audiobook is the best way to consume this book, and yeah, I think I got that one. I'm not quite sure. So I still have a lot of the Screaming Staircase to read, because I did not read anything yesterday night, as I promised I would. So I still have more than 200 pages to go with that one. But I also really wanted to start a new TV show, because there's The Adventures of Sabrina. I don't know what it's called, but I've heard that it's really good. So there's a lot of struggling right now. And I think, first of all, I will have to decide what I'll make for dinner.
So have some hot tea. I just made this pumpkin pasta. This is 1-pot pasta, and I hope it will be on my cooking channel soon. I have a little bit of mulled wine back there, and I'm watching the Dan and Phil video.
So this Dan and Phil episode is definitely scarier than I thought it would be. I have around 10 minutes left. Right now I'm just like, ugh. And then I got some onion in my eyes, so it's very irritated right now. Great.
So I just finished part 3 of Lockwood and Co. And now we're getting to the Screaming Staircase bit. I still can't say it. Yeah, this book is very interesting. It's definitely creepier than I thought it would be, because, you know, I thought this is a YA novel, so it wouldn't be too bad. But the descriptions are quite creepy and stuff, so definitely, if you like that kind of thing, I would highly recommend this book. And I'm really excited to read the next part, but also a little bit scared, because that house they're going in sounds really bad. Actually reminds me of Hill House, you know, with the red room. We'll see.
Good morning, guys. It is Tuesday. I've had a very interesting night with some very interesting dreams. I dreamed that I was a werewolf stuck in a bus. That was very weird. And I tried really hard not to change. Yeah, that was weird. So, yeah, we'll see. I think tonight I'll go into the bathtub. I'm really excited because I got so much exciting stuff for it. So I really want to try something of that. So yeah, good day ahead,
Hi
guys. I think. So I'm back from work. It is super cold now. I just went grocery shopping because tomorrow the stores won't have open, and I get everything I need, I hope. And now I will go into the bathtub because I deserve it. And I'm not quite sure. I would love to try one of my new bath bombs. On the other hand, I just started using one from last year. And, you know, the rational part of me is like, well, you should first use up the one that you already started using. And the indulgent part of me wants to try a new one. So, I don't know. What would you do in my situation?
So I'm going to continue reading The Screaming Staircase while I'm in the bathtub. And I'm not quite sure whether I can finish the book today. I have about, I think, 170 pages left. That seems quite unlikely for me personally, but then I can finish it tomorrow at least.
So, this one was quite a naughty girl again, huh?
Little naughty girl.
So I am right out of the bathtub, the wet hair, and I managed to read almost 90 pages of Lockwood & Co. So I have about 80 left to finish the book. Not quite sure whether I will do that today, because I want to catch up on some lovely YouTube videos as well, which I have missed out on yesterday.
For now, I have some mulled wine, some lovely tea, some leftover food from yesterday, and my lovely little candle.
I think these are actually the moments of our day that we both enjoy the most. It's just so peaceful, just sitting here, you know, watching some YouTube and having some kitty cuddles. I don't know, it just feels very cozy right now, and I'm really, really happy. So I just finished the 4th part of Lockwood & Co. So I have about 2 chapters left. I think now I'll get ready for bed and then probably read those 2 chapters before going to bed so I can finish it today. This is such a good story. I very much enjoyed it. A very good book. If you're into ghost hunting and stuff like that, I would highly recommend it. So much better than stalking Jack the Ripper. And yeah, I hope if you don't know this series yet, you will go and check it out. I will definitely read more of this.
So I just finished Lockwood & Co. In the end, you even get a glossary with all the ghosty things that is in here, so you understand the world better. Definitely enjoyed this a whole ton, and I see myself continuing on with this series. I don't know how many books this is gonna be. Maybe 5 or more, I don't even know. I know that my library only has the German versions apart from the first one, which is kind of sad. So maybe I'll get them from somewhere else, or I just read the German versions from now on. But overall, I think I would give this book a 4 or 4.5 stars, because it was really, really good for what it is. Obviously not life-changing, but for a young adult or teenage audience, very, very creepy, a good mystery. It was possible to see the ending coming, but not in a way that it was annoying, that you already knew and no one else did. So it was just a good mixture of stuff, very well paced, well written for what it is. Yeah, I enjoyed it a whole ton.
Look at this little one. This looks so funny. So it looks so grumpy. Good morning, guys. Happy Halloween. Today is the last day of my October vlogging, which is gonna feel weird. I just did my yoga, so I probably look a little bit destroyed. But yeah, for now, I want to do some cleaning around the house. I have to get rid of that laundry over there, and I want to clean my bathroom. And then I have a lot of Halloweeny stuff that I want to do today, so let's get on with it. So I just managed to clean my bathroom, which can be quite a creepy thing, to be honest. And I think for now I'll do some work. Even though I have the day off, I just feel like doing something small, maybe for an hour or so. And I think while I do that, I also will paint my nails. So I think I'll do them red and maybe with some glitter. That's what I'm feeling right now. So yeah, let's get to it. So for now I'm done working. I'm waiting for my nails to dry, and I must say I am quite happy with them. Like, I'm not good at painting my nails, but I think they turned out quite well. So, yeah, as soon as I'm confident that they're completely dry and won't budge anymore, I will start my Halloween transformation, I think. I also have to clean my apartment a little bit more. So I'm not quite sure if I'll do that first and then transform myself into something a little bit more creepy for today. Probably. Okay, so the next part of my day you've hopefully already seen, because now I'm gonna film my Halloween video, which I will upload tonight. So if you haven't already, check that one out. So I just finished filming my Halloween video, which I will edit in a second. But while I was doing this, I started watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I have about 15 or 20 minutes left. So I think I'll finish watching that now. So the movie's over. It's so good. If you have never seen the Rocky Horror Show, definitely watch it. It's so good. And now I want to edit the video, so I'm contemplating getting rid of the dress for now, because it is quite uncomfortable. But I think I'll keep the headpiece on, even though I had to pin it down a little bit in a weird situation there. Yeah, so let's get editing. So very exciting. I finished editing the video. The rendering is gonna take forever because there is some stuff going on with the video that makes it really slow, but well, it's done and I'm really excited to show it to you. Time for a quick snack. So I have just uploaded my video, which is great. I'm actually really proud of it, and I'm excited to see if anyone else likes it. I do, apparently. And then I made myself some pizza dough, so I hope this is gonna be good. So I made a little army of pizzas with pumpkin and feta cheese, and I just devoured one of those, and now I'm full, which is kind of disappointing, but so I have more for the upcoming week, I guess. So I have uploaded 3 videos for my cooking channel today, which is great because now I'm practically set for November and I can focus completely on my plans for December, which I hope will work out. So I wanted to watch Sweeney Todd tonight, but that wasn't available anywhere, so I settled with a Dracula. This is Bram Stoker's Dracula with Keanu Reeves and what's his name? Oh, you know, the other guy that I love. I love it. So, boys and girls, here we are at the end of things. I just finished watching Dracula. It's one of my favorite movies. I mean, we have Keanu Reeves, Winona Ryder, and Gary Oldman, Anthony Hopkins. Like, this movie is just crazy. So if you've never seen it, watch it. It's not scary. It's a bit gory, but I love it so much. So it's almost 10 now. I think I will go do the dishes and then head to bed. Obviously, I have not done all the reading I wanted to do this month, but I still had a very good time. Also, you know, editing these vlogs, it takes away a lot of time, so yeah, but I did prioritize it. I had hoped that this would, you know, end my reading slump, which it definitely did. And I've read amazing books and I've read really mediocre books. But I think I'll film a little wrap-up bit later this week and edit this at the end of this. But for the vlog part, now it is over. I thank you so much for sticking to it and watching all these videos. Really appreciate it. I had so much fun. And yeah, maybe in November we'll have some travel vlogs. I'm not quite sure yet, but I really hope so. Hey guys, today I wanted to do a little wrap up for this vlog and for October in general. This lighting is probably super horrible because it is quite late right now, but I'm lazy, and since this is a vlog, I'm just assuming you'll have to live with it, so sorry. So I have my little book here that I note every book in that I finish. So we'll just go through it and see which book I have finished in October and what I thought of them. So the first book I have actually finished was part of the Game of Thrones series. It is the fourth book, so 4.2 basically, the second part of the fourth book in English. And I gave it 3 stars. I think the fourth book in general is super disappointing and super boring, and I had huge issues with it, and I'm so glad that it's done now. And I don't know whether I will continue with the series soon or whether it will take me a year before I pick it back up, but for now I'm pretty set with, you know, my Game of Thrones needs. And this one actually, I wanted it to get me out of reading slump, but it didn't do anything for me. The next book I finished is a German book. It's called Alles muss versteckt sein, which is a thriller by Wiebke Lorenz. And this book was a 3-star book as well for me. It was very easy to read, so I flew through it. It's not very thrilling. It's about this woman who has murder fantasies, and she is accused of having murdered her boyfriend, but you know, it's not really sure, she can't remember, and it's that kind of storyline. So it wasn't really surprising or thrilling, but you know, it was just very easy to get through and entertaining enough, I would say. The next book I finished then, I actually have here, because the other 2 I just mentioned I got from the library, so I already returned them because I don't like having them around if I don't read them anymore. So the next book I finished was this Penny Dreadfuls volume. I started this last year for my Scaralong, and I had about half of the book left, which consisted of a couple of short stories and then the story of Sweeney Todd, which is called A String of Pearls. I love this book a whole lot. Overall, I gave it 4 stars. This is one of the leather-bound editions by Barnes & Noble, I think. And yeah, I just really love this. It has Frankenstein in it. It has Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in it. And it has Sweeney Todd in it, and then shorter stories in between. And I think this is a perfect book if you like these kind of 1900s scary tales. Especially with A String of Pearls, I absolutely loved it. It's my favorite Halloween classic, and I hope that you read it sometime because it's completely different from the movie. It had nothing to do with the Sweeney Todd movie, apart from a couple of names, but most of these characters are completely different, and yeah, I just loved it. It was such a dark tale. It was amazing. I mean, I mentioned that a lot in my vlog, so you can go and check that out if you want to hear more of gushing from me. The next book I finished was another library book, and that was The Traveling Bag by Suzanne Hill. This is a short story collection with 5 short stories, which are all around 40 to 50 pages. The last one is a little bit longer. I loved every single one of the story. Overall, I gave this collection 4.5 stars because I think Susan Hill is absolutely amazing. Her ghost stories are the best of the best for me. So I would highly recommend you go check out this collection if you're into ghost stories. I really do love a good ghost story. Like, ghosts are the things that creep me out the most, I guess. So yeah, that collection was perfect for me. And as I said, I loved every single story. I think the weakest one for me actually was the first one, The Traveling Bag, but all the other ones were so unique. And you know, sometimes with a collection of like scary stories or a collection of stories in general, they tend to blend together a little bit if they're too similar. But with this collection, they're all so unique and so different that you'll definitely, you know, remember each and every story separately. Then I finished another little story collection, and this is a German one about Japanese ghost stories. This is by Lafcadio Hearn, and I really liked this. I gave it 3 stars, 3.5 stars actually. I don't know a lot about Japanese mythology, so I felt like I missed out on a couple of things because I didn't really understand it. But these are very cute stories. They're not what we would consider a ghost story in the sense that they are all like creepy or scary, but a few of them are, but others are just about the afterlife and Buddhism and stuff like that. So it's a very good mixture of things, and I think if you are slightly interested in Japanese mythology, this is interesting. In the vlog I also mentioned that there are 2 sources for these stories. One is called In Ghostly Japan, and it was published in 1899, and the other one is called Koto or something like that. It was published in 1902, so you can find the stories that are in here in English as well. Then I also finished the Screaming Staircase by Jonathan Stroud, which is the first book in the Lockwood & Co. series. And this one I gave 4.5 stars to because I absolutely loved it. I got it from the library as well, and I was actually shocked that my library had the English version of the first book. I absolutely loved it. The writing style is great. This is written for teens or young adults, but it's so creepy. The case is really good. I loved the 2 main characters. I loved that there wasn't any romance in this book. So overall, this was just a winner for me. I absolutely loved it, and I think if you're in for good ghost hunter stories, definitely check out The Screaming Staircase. Then I also finished Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco, and let me just say that this was it was an audiobook, and it was the worst audiobook I ever listened to since I got Audible. I gave this one 2.5 stars, which is a very low rating for me personally. Like, I have to literally hate a book to give it 1 star, but like 2 and 2.5 stars is like, I completely wasted my time because I didn't even hate this book. It starts out quite good, I would say. Like, the first maybe 10 to 15 minutes were interesting, and after that it just went downhill so fast. This is all about this main character, Audrey Rose, and she is just a weird bitch. Like, I don't know what's wrong with her. She's so annoying, and she wants to be this like really cool grown-up feminist girl in her time. Like, obviously this is set in 1888 when Jack the Ripper was killing people, and she wants to dissect dead people like her uncle does. And she feels like she's so special because of that, such a special snowflake. And then she meets this guy who is an apprentice of her uncle, Thomas I think he's called, and this is supposed to be romance, but it was one of the most unromantic relationships I ever read about. They had 0 chemistry for me. He was just a douche and very inappropriate all the time, and she was just annoying all the time. So if you want to hear me rant about this, go watch the vlogs, because you know I couldn't shut up about it. This book, whew, well, I also finished another audiobook, but for some reason I didn't write it down in my little book here. I finished All the Crooked Saints by Maggie Stiefvater. I would give it, I think, a 3, maybe 3.5 stars. Yeah, 3.5 stars, I guess. This is a story about a little town where there are saints, and these saints can perform miracles, but these miracles are a little bit of a weird thing, because there's always a first miracle and a second miracle, and the saints can do the first miracle, which brings out your inner darkness, and then you have to fight it basically on your own to achieve the second miracle. But something goes wrong in this town, and for a long time now practically no one was able to achieve the second miracle, though there's this town of all kinds of weird people who are fighting their inner darkness and don't know what they're doing. So that was entertaining. I really liked the atmosphere. I had a little bit of trouble with the narrator of the audiobook because he had that fake Spanish accent kind of, which I didn't really need. But yeah, it was fun to listen to, but it didn't change my life or anything. During the month I also read 4 chapters of the Silmarillion, just for fun, had nothing to do with the readathon, but I wanted to mention it because, you know, page count and stuff. Also, you've probably seen I watched most of Penny Dreadful last month, and then also The Haunting of Hill House. Both are on Netflix here, and I loved both shows so much. Like, Penny Dreadful was a rewatch, but I had only seen the third season once before, and Haunting of Hill House was so good. So creepy, but such a good show. And I would have read so much more if I hadn't watched it, but it's perfect. It's really perfect. And it is creepy, but it's really a family drama, and it's the saddest ghost story I've ever seen. It is so heart-wrenching. I cried multiple times. I think I started crying on the 4th episode, and then I pretty much cried in every episode until the 10th. So yeah, loved it. If you have not seen it for some weird reason, go and watch it. It's amazing. Please, please, please do. So yeah, I think that would be all I wanted to, wrap up in this little part. I hope I didn't ramble for too long, but I wanted to do this little cleanup basically at the end of the month. Also, one thing I wanted to mention is a book I finished almost in October, so it was very late in September, and I have not talked about it yet, and that is Deadly Decisions by Katie Reichs. This is the third novel in the Temperance Brennan series, which I absolutely love, and this one was no exception. I gave it 4 stars. This is about Temperance Brennan, who basically is Bones. If you know the TV show Bones, this is based on these novels, but her character is completely different, but what she does is similar. So she can look at bones and try to find out how they died and stuff like that. And yeah, in this third book, this is a lot about biker gangs, which was very interesting, and I just really love this series, and I think the books get better and better, so I'm excited to continue on with the 4th book soon. And I would love if you have read any of these to leave me down below your opinion, or if you have any recommendations maybe with books that are similar, so I can read them next October maybe. I hope you enjoyed this little vlogging series, and if you didn't, I will stop now, so you have survived, but I will have some travel vlogs hopefully in November, because actually the day after tomorrow I'm going to Zurich. And then the week after that, I'm going to Venice, and I'm very excited for both of these events. So yeah, hope you have a great day. If you liked it, leave a like or a nice comment and everything else, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!